Hello everyone, welcome to the MOOC lecture series, an initiative taken by LJ Institute of Pharmacy. Myself, Tosha Pandya, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmaceutical Technology, will be taking a session on suspensions today. So till now, we have already seen about the monophasic dosage form. The second type of the dosage forms in the liquid preparation category were the polyphasic dosage form. So in the polyphasic dosage form, you have two major categories, that is suspensions and the emulsions. Okay, so in polyphasic dosage form means you have two phases, two or more phases. Okay, it is not in a one phase, but you have different categories, one in which the solid is dispersed in liquid phase and other in which the liquid is dispersed in the liquid phase. So first one, let us discuss about the suspensions. So what are suspensions? So pharmaceutical suspension is a dispersed system in which the internal phase is dispersed uniformly as finely divided insoluble particles throughout the external phase. So best example you can see here is the chalk water suspension. Okay, so the solid particles are dispersed in the aqueous phase surrounding dispersed phase, okay, in which it should be uniformly dispersed. So let us see the advantages of the suspensions. What are the advantages? So first advantage is that it is used for improving the chemical stability of some drug which is unstable as such, like the procaine penicillin G. Next, it is also used for increasing the higher bioavailability of a drug. So, normal drug which is not is not bioavailable as a solid dosage form like tablets or capsule can be given as suspension, which is insoluble, but it can be dispersed throughout the external phase. Next, it is also used to control the duration and onset of action of some of the drugs like the zinc insulin suspension, and it is also used for taste masking purpose like chloramphenicol suspension. It also has some of the disadvantages because of the stability issue. So let us see the disadvantage. It has physical instability like the sedimentation and compaction, and it is bulky, so it is difficult to handle and transport, and also it is difficult to formulate, plus it may lead to non-uniform and inaccurate dosage. So this is the classification of the suspension, which can be classified based on the general class. It can be divided into oral suspension, externally applied suspension, or the parenteral suspension. Based on the amount of the solids, it can be classified as dilute suspension, which has the solids in the range of 2 to 10% weight by volume solid, and concentrated suspension which has up to 50% solid content. Next, it is based on the electrokinetic nature of the solid particles. It can be flocculated and the deflocculated suspension. So what is flocculated suspension? The major difference between the flocculated and deflocculated suspension is that in the flocculated suspension you have large aggregates which are formed and they settle down, which giving the clear supernatant, whereas in the deflocculated suspension you have the particles dispersed as individual entities and you will have a turbid or not clear supernatant. Whereas the flocculated suspension can be easily redispersed, the deflocculated suspension form a hard cake leading to difficulty in redispersing. They cannot be redispersed easily. So these are the formulation consideration of the suspension, like the wetting agents, particle size, particle shape, the particle-particle interaction, and the suspending agent. So let us see the formulation consideration of the suspension in detail. So wetting agents, what are the wetting agents? They are mainly used for lowering the surface tension and they make the suspension stable, and the wetting ability depends on the contact angle, which should be less than 90. Example, polysorbate 80 and many more. Next is the particle size, which is very critical part because too large or too small particle size will lead to instability. Large particles settle down faster, whereas the small particles may have tendency to aggregate because of the charge acquiring tendency. So optimum particle size is required for preparing a stable suspension. Next is the particle shape. So it is found that the spherical shape has lower rate of sedimentation. Particle-particle interaction, the consideration should be for the zeta potential, which is from the DLVO theory, and deflocculation and the flocculation. So the particles wherever required, you will maintain the zeta potential there. The suspending agents, which are the major formulation category or component of the suspension. They are used for increasing the stability, making the finely divided particle uniformly dispersed throughout the external face. Okay, they will form the film around the particle and decrease the particle attraction and impart a suitable viscosity to formulation like the sodium alginate, CMC, silicon dioxide, etc. So this is the formulation consideration of the suspension. You can see deflocculated suspension. If you add a structured vehicle, you will form a deflocculated suspension in the structured vehicle. Flocculating agents, if they are added, it will lead to formulation of flocculated suspension. And if you add flocculating agents added and again add the structured vehicle, you will form a flocculated suspension in the structured vehicle. So these are the quality control tests for the suspensions like the appearance, color, odor and taste, the sedimentation rate, zeta potential measurement, sedimentation volume, pH, redispersibility and centrifugation test, and the rheological measurement and also the stress test. Okay. So these are the quality control tests which should be taken into consideration. So along with this, I want to mention that specific labeling conditions should be there. Like you should shake well before use because it is a not a uniform solution. So to avoid the inaccuracy of the dosage, you should be always shaken well before use. I hope you are clear with the suspension. For detailed study, you can refer Subramaniam book or any other Remington book for detailed study. Thank you.
Please do like, share, and subscribe our YouTube channel Pharma Ignite, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the regular notifications so that you do not miss out any of the topics in this chapter. Thank you.